Okay, well, welcome back. I guess this is really kind of more of a blog rather than a game video. I will have some game footage in the background just so it's not boring as hell. But anyways, I pretty much spent all night thinking of whether or not I should do this video, and I figured, you know what, why not? Basically, today is June 18th. At least I think it's June. Let me check my calendar real quick. Yeah, it's June. That's what happens when you don't go outside for a while. Anyways, today's June 18th, and it is Father's Day. Now, anyways, I mostly got inspired to do this from watching a video that another YouTuber was doing, and it wasn't specifically centered around Father's Day, but the concept of something that Skype did was brought up in the video, and I checked it out myself, and it is indeed there. But you see, basically Skype has this the YouTuber referred to as a robot, which it does have a robot thumbnail on its profile, but basically it's Skype's automated advertisement system, I guess you could call it. But anyways, basically what it says is it's Dad's Matter 2. Call or send a message to men who've made a difference in your life this Father's Day, June 18th. Now, the reason why that was brought up in this video that I was watching is pretty much because there are a decent amount of people in the U.S. who grew up without a dad, and that particular YouTuber thought that a lot of people who didn't grow up with a dad in their life would be devastated by receiving that kind of message on their Skype. Now, personally, I know that I haven't really said a lot about myself. Of course, a lot of people don't. So this is actually kind of a personal subject for me, but I figured, why not? I've never done anything for Father's Day, period. Not just on YouTube, but at all, really. And that's because I grew up without a dad. It's not like that I didn't know of my dad's existence or anything like that. I knew about my dad. I just don't know him as a person because he basically divorced my mom when me and my brother were 9 months old. I was raised by my mom and grandma, and I've never had my dad in my life. I've only seen the guy twice in my entire life, and to be honest, I hate his guts. Granted, I do have to state this because some people be like, well, he hates his dad because he was raised by women, and that's a can of worms I'm not going to go into. But basically, no, hating my dad is actually my own choice. My mom and my grandma actually tried to encourage me not to hate my dad, and it's all like, well, that's your opinions, but I'm going to keep my opinion that he's the scum of the earth to me. And I actually have a very valid reason for that, and it's because, and that's because my dad has proven that if he really wanted to, he could come visit me and my brother. In fact, he has, twice. Out of 25 years of my life, I've only met the guy face to face twice. So yeah, I really don't have any attachment to him, to be honest. There's nothing there. When I was a kid, I actually did cry about it and all that, but as you get older, you get over stuff, and one of the things that I got over growing up was basically was expecting my dad to show up and hang out, just hang out, chill. There's a lot of stuff we could have talked about. Heck, when he did show up, when he actually did visit me and my brother, we talked about a lot of stuff. A whole lot of stuff. And the last time I saw him was when I was 16. And it was the first time that me and my brother actually saw our dad. He actually showed up when we were over in California. We didn't live there. We actually went there to a clinic, but that's not a story I'm going to be diving into. Regardless, he came and visited us at the hotel that we were staying at. And I was, I think, maybe 11, around that time. And then when me and my brother were 16, he shows up at our apartment, at the apartment that we did live in at the time. My grandma, and my brother still live there. My mom is up in Grants Pass. But anyways, that's another story for another time. I don't think they'd appreciate me talking about that. But anyways, so yeah, he showed up at the apartment, asked if we could hang out for a while. So that's exactly what me and my brother did. We spent an entire afternoon with our dad. And by the time that afternoon was over with, we still knew nothing about him, really. We didn't really talk much about, what the past was and, why didn't he show up sooner? Because, when I remember my childhood and all that, there were times where I forgot that my dad existed. And, which is probably for the better. When I was 4, actually I think it was closer to when I was 5, I asked my mom if me and my brother had a dad. And she said, yeah, and we did get in contact with him and all. It's not like we don't have contact with him, we just don't bother to contact him most of the time. But anyways, the point is, wow, I just realized this is going on for 6 minutes. I haven't gotten to my main point yet. Damn. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, when I was a kid, I had talked to my dad a couple times on the phone. That was it. He, at one point, promised to come and visit us. This was back at the very first apartment that we lived in, at least to my knowledge, because I only remember things back to age 4, so for all I know, that was the only apartment we ever lived in. But anyways, so one time he promised that he was going to come visit. And well, that promise to come visit lasted up until I was 11 or 12. I can't quite remember when exactly what age I was when we actually first saw him face to face. But the point was, he didn't keep the promise. And so I honestly didn't really know what to really think of back then. Although he did try to get me and my brother to turn against our mom, so that's another reason why I hate him, is because he expected me and my brother to trust him on the sole point of us being blood related. Which he was never there, so my dad's a stranger, really. He's really a stranger, and it's not like my grandma and my mom didn't try to encourage me and my brother to have a male role model. They knew we needed one or several. So pretty much whenever we had a family gathering or went on vacation with some relatives, me and my brother hanged out with our uncles or my cousin. So yeah, anyways, granted my cousin is 10 years older than me, so yeah, that's interesting. By the time he was 20, I was 10. That's how I know that that's how I know that he's 10 years older than me, is because we celebrated his 20th birthday at our house. Well, when we had a house, because we went from an apartment to a house, then back to an apartment. But yeah, anyways, that's not the point. Basically, when I think of actual male role models that were involved in my life, I honestly, first thoughts that comes to my mind is my Uncle Richard. Nice guy. He divorced my Aunt Shelley really long time ago. No idea why. No one really told me the details of that, and I still didn't bother to ask. But when he was around, when my Uncle Richard was around, he was, I guess you could say, he was the fun uncle. Like, you know how everyone has, like, those different relatives that specialize in different things? Well, in this case, my Uncle Vernon was kind of the silent type. He's blind, but he's a good guy. But anyways, my Uncle Joe was the terrorizer. Me and my brother actually developed a fear of him after a while. I'm not gonna go into the reasons why. My parents knows, my mom and grandma, they know why, so I really don't think anyone else really needs to know why me and my brother developed a fear of him. But anyways, but my Uncle Richard, he was the fun uncle. Anyways, whenever me and my brother visited him, it was him and my aunt, or if they visited us, he would always take me and my brother out and just hang out. We'd do various different things. That was fun. It was really fun, and honestly, it's like I'd have to say that my biggest male role model was probably my Uncle Richard. And that's just because he was an overall good guy. I enjoyed hanging out with him. So yeah, when it comes to mine, it's really difficult to explain, really, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, my dad was never really around. So. In case you're wondering, I'm not using a script for this. It's really hard to figure out what all I want to talk about. Like, that was my main punchline right there was my Uncle Richard being my role model. He was a good guy. But other than that, it's like when it comes to the concept of Father's Day, it's really a foreign subject to me because like. I grew up with my mom and my grandma. So every single Mother's Day, I always got my mom a gift. I still do that to this day. Me and my brother as my grandma, she finds out what my mom is into because me and my brother don't really pay attention to what our mom is into, what her hobbies are, and so on and so forth. So our grandma finds out what kind of gift my mom would like every single holiday that we give gifts. And me and my brother put money. We share the costs basically, and that's because we don't have a lot of money. So my brother pays some money. I pay some money. So yeah. Anyways, so Mother's Day is like pretty much a tradition. And at this point, because. Okay, that was weird. Audacity stopped working there for a second. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm very familiar with Mother's Day because that's something I've always done throughout my entire life. But yeah, Father's Day, from my point of view anyway, Father's Day is a lot like Mother's Day except it's with the father. And so yeah, I guess mostly my point is that that when it comes to the Skype message and some people worrying about other people getting emotionally devastated by some message on Skype because they don't have a dad and has a dad in their life. Personally, I think they're going to be just fine. And that's mostly because by now those same people are probably in their 20s like I am, and they've just stopped really caring. They don't really expect their dad to show up at any point in time. And at this point, I like to think that me and my dad have I guess, kind of a Cold War pact type relationship. Like, I have my dad's phone number, he has my cell phone number, and he has my brother's cell phone number and my mom's apartment number. So at any point in time, if he really wanted to, he could get in contact with us. And we could get in contact with him because we have his number. But I just don't feel the need to contact him, to go out of my way to say, hi, how's it going? Because I don't know the guy. The guy is a stranger to me. I have no idea what his likes are. I have no idea what exactly his personality is, and he didn't exactly leave a good impression on our first meeting, to be honest. So yeah. Anyways, there's really not much to talk about on that subject, I guess, because I don't know my dad. But anyways, so yeah. Anyways, as I was trying to get to, and then I spaced him for a second. But yeah, if my dad really wants to, he can contact me. If he wants to talk, he can do that. I don't care. I'm just not going to go out of my way, out of my day, to contact him, because I figured if he really wants to talk, he has my number. So yeah. Anyways, so I guess that's about it. I just hope I have enough footage to cover this. So yeah. Oh, and I almost forgot, but yeah. Anyways, if any viewers out there who see this video and they're a parent, they're a dad, whatever, and an uncle, whatever. If you're in someone's life and making a positive impact on their life, then you're doing good. Because when it comes down to it, every single boy needs to have someone to look up to. And if there isn't a dad in the picture, then it's got to be like the uncle, or as an uncle, grandpa, whatever. Whoever male role model is in somebody's life, you're doing good. That's all I can think of to say on that subject, really. So yeah. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, please leave a like, subscribe, and I was gonna do my regular intro, which was remember to feed the trolls and all that, but this isn't a troll subject, so okay.